On this week's episode, I'm joined by Portuguese journalist, food critic, and book author Ricardo Felner. We discuss, amongst other things, raising food snobs, transitioning from investigative journalism to food writing, eating tarantulas, and finally, our favorite subject on the podcast, food. Some of the weird and wonderful things to eat, happy pigs, and why, in Portugal, you should try just about everything. Welcome back, or welcome to another episode of Portugal, The Simple Life, and I'm delighted to be joined by Ricardo Felner. Ricardo, all the way in Lisbon, I believe?
Yes, I'm in Lisbon.
Thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
If you're staying in Alvalade, can I assume that you support the team in green?
No.
Oh,
not at all.
That's
the Sporting. People say the Sporting plays in Alvalade, but Alvalade it's kind of like maybe 20 minutes walking from the
stadium.
The stadium, so it's not so near. Okay. I don't know why they call it Alvalade.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that. I always assumed it was the same place. They had a good result last night, at least.
But, it was very good.
Yeah.
Are you sad? Are you from Tottenham?
I'm not from Tottenham, no. I'm from Sporting.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was a good night. It was a good night. And we had a good success 2 years ago, so that was nice. It was nice.
Okay.
Ricardo, maybe you can start off by telling us a little bit about you.
Okay, well, I'm a journalist for 24 years. I have 3 kids, and I live in Lisbon, in Alvalade. And for the last, I would say, 10 years, I've been mostly writing and investigating food. So I would say that I'm a food journalist or a food writer, if you prefer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, you're a guy that works really, really hard, and I was wondering about that. Then you told me you have 3 kids. Now I understand why you work so hard.
Well, I'm a freelancer. So if I don't work, I don't get money to pay all these kids' life, which is actually a pretty, sometimes it's not cheap.
No, not at all.
Asking me for money to go out to lunch with friends, and you have.
Okay, but that's your fault because you got them onto food, So so they like food because of their dad.
Yeah, they like food pretty much, and they kind of snobs also, food snobs, like their father. I created monsters.
There you go.
My fault.
Tell us a little bit about where you live, what you would consider your hometown, Ricardo, and why you live there, why you choose to be in that area.
Well, Lisbon is great because of it's near the beach, which is a very important thing to me. I like to go out surfing.
Okay.
Sometimes during the week, and so you're in a European capital with all the good things of living in a big city, and at the same time you're 20 minutes from Costa da Caparica or Carcavelos, and you can go to the beach almost every month of the year. In the winter it should be, some days are not so sunny, but most of the year you can go to the beach and have sun, and I think those are the things that make me live here. And of course it's a place where all the media are, and so it's easy for me. All the restaurants, or most of the chefs and restaurants and food industry is in here in Lisbon.
Yeah. And I mean, for surfing beaches, you've chosen the right country. Uh, there's a lot of places to surf.
There are lots of places to surf. Maybe we don't have like a wave like you can reach in Indonesia or Hawaii. So I would say we have big, big waves. As you know, Nazaré is
Nazaré. Yeah.
the biggest waves in the world. But I don't surf that kind of waves. I prefer the little ones and the long ones. And yeah, there are other countries where you have the longer waves,
Yeah.
but here in Portugal you have different situations. So if the wind is from north, you can surf in Peniche, and from south you can surf in Algarve. Well, you have different options.
Yeah. Yeah. Estoril as well.
Estoril as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Very nice. And I think the thing that I think is interesting and nice about Lisbon as well, you mentioned that it's this capital city and this European capital, but it's also quite calm for a big city. It's quite a calm place to live. Everything kind of works and everything is relaxed, and you've got parks and places and it's a safe place in general.
It's a safe place. I think the safety is the most important thing uh, when you choose to live in Portugal. And at the same time, you're in a kind of party city. You know, you can party hard in Lisbon, uh, but you don't have the same crime rates as you have in other European capitals.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say you might feel always secure in every place of the city. But
Mm-hmm.
comparing with Madrid or London or Paris or
Yeah.
whatever, it's pretty safe and it's pretty easygoing. And I think that's one of the most important things when people choose to live here.
Yeah, I mean, when your kids ask you for money to go and eat and stuff, they're going on their own, right? They get the public transport, they go into town, and they do these
Yeah,
things on their own, and it's
the
quite
older
safe.
ones, well, I have two kids, two teens. One is 17, the other is 15, and a little one with 5 years old. But the teens, yeah, they go everywhere by their own. They take the underground and the bus, and
Mm,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay. And tell us a little bit about your career as a journalist. 20 years, it's a long time in a career. What sort of journalism did you specialize in? What kind of work did you do there?
Yeah, I started working in a daily newspaper called Público, which is a national daily newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
I worked there for 11 years and I did pretty much everything there. I started working in the local section. Well, the section where I wrote about, I used to write about Lisbon, every kind of stories. Then I started working on justice, then on crime, uh, and migrations, and I ended doing politics and investigative journalism. So when I changed from Public to a news magazine called Sabado, I was doing mostly investigative journalism, and yeah, and then I started in Sabado, and the food was something that I was always looking for when I was thinking in articles and which people to do interviews, and I ended doing this blog in 2012, I think. I started writing a blog, a food blog, and eventually I was hired for Time Out magazine, and that's when when food and restaurants became um, priority.
When
Yeah.
they started becoming popular.
Yeah, it was in 2013, I think, and Lisbon was getting very very fashion worldwide, and food was also all the restaurant scene was growing, and so it was the perfect moment to get into Time Out magazine, and well, I coordinate all the food section, and wrote articles and reviews for them too.
Wonderful. And why food for you, Ricardo? Why did you go in that direction in the end?
Well, I think you don't have to, but it's nice if you like to cook and if you like to eat. And at the end of the day, it's the same kind of journalism I used to do, because you have to be curious. You have to, and I'm curious about things. I'm curious about the way that food is processed, the way the dishes are created. For me, being a food writer is not only to doing restaurant reviews. I do it professionally, regularly, but I love to know about the Portuguese pork ancestry. I like to know about the all the science you have on grilled food, on fermentations. So I like this combination of science and the people who do it and the stories that are around all these things. So I look at food as a story, you have to try to know more than the superficial things most of the people know. It's like it's doing journalism.
Yeah. What's the last sort of interesting thing that you can remember that you discovered or learned in doing one of these stories?
Well, one of the last major articles I did was about the porco alentejano, you
Mm-hmm.
know, pork from Alentejo region, which is a very old animal, but is in danger of disappearing.
Okay.
Yeah, and well, it's something precious. The meat is so flavored because of the way they live in Alentejo, in the Montado, and yeah, but there are only some thousands, like I think 4,000 females
Wow.
in Portugal and in the world actually, and so it's we need to look at these things as cultural things in to keep these treasures, because the industry is always looking for which breed is the one that uh, gives more production and commercially is more interesting. And well, sometimes they they tend to forget about flavor and cultural heritage, and yeah, and it's I think it's uh it's my job to make people know about these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
You mentioned the pigs
it's
and
delicious.
yeah. Well, I mean, you mentioned this, and I remember once. I don't know if it was an interview that I heard or an article that I read, speaking to a farmer that works with these pigs in Alentejo, and and the question was, why does the meat taste so good? And his one of his replies was just that they're happy because they're in a nice environment and that they're well looked after.
Yeah,
Um,
they live free and wild in Montado.
yeah,
So then they don't eat these flaws that most of them we don't know which things they have inside. They eat bolotas. How do you say bolotas? You know the
yeah, bolotas. I'm trying to think of the English word. I know the Portuguese word.
yeah.
From the tree.
Yeah, from the tree.
Yeah,
Well,
like acorns from the tree. It's like
yeah.
a chestnut.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It falls from the
Yeah,
tree and they eat it off the, yeah.
yeah. And so this. these fruits give a lot of good flavor and oleic acid. It's a very healthy fat, the same that you have in olive oil.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's good meat for your health. It's the flavor, it's amazing. And yeah, we should keep it. Of course, they don't get fat so faster as the white pigs, like Duroc, for example. Um, they they take much more time to get bigger, but
Yeah.
they're amazing.
Yeah. Because the focus in the last few years has been the black pig, almost the pork preto, because that was also something quite undiscovered. Then it got discovered, and now it's gained more prominence.
Yeah, pig from Alentejo is an ancestor of porco preto, of black pig.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So, but the expression black pig, you can put it there everything. You can put it
Yeah.
there a lot of hybrids.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
Okay,
So
that's
pork alentejano is part of the black pig family.
it is. It
Yeah.
is the grandfather.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
father.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had the best black pig in my life. Over the summer, we were driving between Montmornovo to Stromoj, and we stopped at this little place on the side of the road, and it was so simple, the place, but the pork was
Yeah.
amazing and just so simple, so simple but so delicious.
Well, this is the thing that makes Portuguese food different from everything, I think, in my opinion, because we have a simple. The product is very simple. We don't we are not we don't have complex cuisine, but with a few ingredients, we take all the flavor we can, and and we have very good product. Like you can think about fish. You can think about pork, of course. You can think about all the vegetables, and we have also good fruit. So
Yeah.
we are blessed with that, and this is a bad and a good thing. Intensive agriculture is not so disseminated as in other industrial countries, European countries, and so you get these nice apples, these nice, sorry, orange, and yeah, the
Yeah, well,
product is
it's what I like about the local markets that we still have in a lot of our villages. You can go there and the fruits all different shapes and different colors, and but
oh, that's the
it's
best.
still good.
That's
It's
the
still
best
good.
thing. That's the best thing. Go
Yeah.
to the local markets in, well, each village has its local market, and you can find these little garlic cloves, which are very difficult to peel, but the flavor is amazing. You have wonderful potatoes in the summer. The onions in the summer are great too. It's very sweet, and yeah, you have to know the seasons and which product to buy in each season. But you still can get it.
Yeah, because I mean that's still something that we've got in our culture here is the seasonal fruits. It's not, especially at the markets, it's not something that's grown all the time. You go to most markets and it's what's seasonal. That's really, really important, isn't it, for
Oh,
food?
that's so important, and it's if you get to buy things in season, it's less expensive also. It's the flavor is better, and it's less expensive. Of course, I like to eat a mango, and from Brazil. I'm not being radical about it, but you should look at which fruits are in season. Of course,
Yeah, yeah,
it's just being smart.
yeah. Ricardo, tell us a little bit about the book that you've written.
Oh, that was published in, I think 2 weeks after the COVID
Okay.
started in 2020. So it was a bad timing. But yeah, it's a book with some of the things that I've been writing for since, well, 2012, I think, and collecting stories about the way I see food, and some of the things that Portuguese people don't know. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
a big fan of Chinese food, and Chinese food here in Portugal. Some people think it's 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 just cheap food and inauthentic food. And in a way, it's true. You have to know the good restaurants and where to go to get authentic Chinese food. But the book tells these journeys to find the authentic things that most of the people don't eat anymore or never did. Like one of my one of the articles is about doing pho. You know, the Vietnamese soup, noodle
Okay.
soup,
Okay.
pho,
Yeah.
and like it's like a 24 hours cooking journey. And yeah, it's some of the articles are more in depth, and some are like 1,000 characters about um, chips, fried potatoes, French fries, sorry. And yeah, it's different kind of things.
What's the title of the book? It was the man who ate everything, I think it's called, right?
It
Or
is.
in Portuguese, it's say the name in Portuguese.
O homem que comia tudo.
Yeah, so the man that ate everything.
Yeah, because I like to eat everything, actually. I'm very curious. And I think, I don't know, my, how do you say, papillas?
Taste
Uh,
buds.
yes, taste buds. I think, I think they are not so sensitive. But yeah,
Yeah.
I, I, I I did eat a lot of exotic food
Well, that was
during.
going to be my question. What were some of the strangest things that you ate?
Well, the most difficult one. Well, I did a lot of insects like tarantula, which
Okay.
I at home.
You cooked it
um,
at home?
yeah, yeah. I bought in this, this exotic animals shop. I bought a lot
Mhm.
of insects. They feed the snakes and the exotic animals with it.
Okay.
And so I thought where I can get insects like
So you went to a pet store to get the food that you ate.
yeah. And so I bought them cockroach and tarantula. Well, tarantula actually was one of the animals they were selling. I remember because the price was kind of pricey. Yeah, it was 32 euros for a tarantula, beautiful one.
Jeez.
And well, of course, it was alive. And the guy told me, what are you really going to eat this? She's so beautiful. Sorry, this is for an article. I have to do it. And then I arrive at home and put it on the freeze, and all
Yeah.
things were freezed. And yeah, and then I did different in different ways. I fried, I baked.
And how was it? I mean, was it nice?
Well, the tarantula was very nice. You know, this what do you say, caranguejo?
Yeah.
Uh, you
Crabs.
know caranguejo?
Crabs.
Sorry,
Crabs.
crabs,
Yeah.
crabs, soft crabs.
Yeah.
It's
Like
more or less
that.
the same thing. Um, I write to one of the world experts on eating insects and this kind of animals, asking if I should take off some part, which is might have poison or something. But he told me, no, it's okay. You can eat everything. And well, I'm alive. But the most difficult thing was a traditional Portuguese dish. And I think you can find it in Finland too, or in Iceland too, which is fermented shark. It's a it's a kind of a little shark in Ericeira, which is like half an hour from Lisbon, near the coast. There's some tertulias, some group of friends that still do it during the winter. They catch these sharks, little sharks,
and then they ferment it.
They ferment
in a bucket.
In a bucket, yes.
Yeah.
And the smell is not friendly. You get a lot of ammoniac.
Yeah, your eyes water.
Yeah. But and then you don't feel that if you're drinking wine, and the idea is to drink a lot of wine, you don't get the alcohols, so you eat a lot without well, and soon you're drunk. I think that's part of the experience too.
Part of the experience. Jeez, that's crazy. I was quite I still am, but I was not a very adventurous eater when I first moved to Portugal. And for one of the things that I could never eat was the polvo, the with the tentacles and everything. And now I eat it all the time. But it was a restaurant owner that tricked me into eating it. So I always used to go in there, and I always used to have the bitok.
Oh, I love bitok.
Yeah, and then he said to me, "No, but Dylan, come on, you have to try some other things for a change." And I said, "No, I only want bitok." And then one day I went into the restaurant and I said, I want bitok. He said, "No, tá vendido, sold out. We don't have any bitok." I said, "Okay, then I'll have the carne no forno, the meat in the oven." He said, "No, also sold out. Only thing I have is polvo." And I was so hungry, I didn't want to go anywhere. And I thought, okay, I'll have the polvo. So he puts the polvo down on my table. And in the same moment that he puts the polvo on my table, in the next table, he puts a bitok. So he lied to me. But I tried it and I liked it, and now I have polvo a lot. But
it was grilled?
It was alagareiro.
Oh,
yeah, it was good. It was good. Yeah, it was very nice. It was very nice. I like now. I like polvo. I'll try some fishes. The only thing that I don't really do is the tripas and iscas. I don't like the texture. I don't like the texture.
Really?
It's a strange thing. Yeah, it's a strange thing. But yeah, we have some interesting dishes, very exotic dishes in Portugal that are very traditional as well.
Yeah, a lot. Tripas are one of those. But well, this is in some of the in the interior, you get to eat cow's head, cow's feet, every part of the animal. You used to.
Why are there more? Because it's always in the interior that you find these more strange dishes. Is it because we didn't have, like, at that time, the tradition was they didn't have access to all the meat and stuff. They had to use more and eat more and save more. What was the main? Do you know? Something I'm always curious about.
There's more than one reason. First, these are mostly poor communities. This is a poor country.
Yeah.
So you get they know that an animal it gets a lot of food, a lot of time to raise, and so they value that. So they take it all and
use it all. Yeah,
that's one of the reasons. And I think the other reason is that they get to learn how to make it tasteful and edible.
Yeah.
And it is quite tasteful actually. So in the big cities, you don't have time to do it. So you get a beef, a bitok, and it's okay. I think it's mostly because of that.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of advice I always say to people, uh, don't ask what it is or don't ask what part of the animal it is. Just try it. What kind of advice would you give to people that are trying to eat some of the more exotic Portuguese foods for the first time? Or what should they try?
Hmm. Well, uh, I like the blood dishes from the north of the country,
Like a morcella? You talking about morcella?
like blood sausage, but also this chicken in a bloody sauce. You heard about cabidela?
Yes.
Cabidela?
Yeah, I've had it. I've had it.
I love it. So if you're adventurous, you should try it. More things. Uh,
I had something the other day. I can't remember the name of it now. It was in the Feira de Zezer area,
mhm.
and it was like a mixture of meat inside the stomach.
Ah,
What's
should
it
be
called?
Maranhos.
Yeah,
Maranhos.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was good. Nice.
It had a rice too.
Yes. Yeah, there
Rice.
was two different ones, and there was one with rice, and there was one with just meat.
Yeah,
But I had both. I think the Maranhos was the one with the rice.
yeah.
It was
Normally
very
they
good.
do with mint.
Yeah, it
Uh,
had mint in it as well. Yeah,
and mint also.
it was
It's
very nice.
nice. It's not so heavy as it
No, it's
seems.
almost like a sausage,
It is.
almost
It
like a
is
salsicha. Yeah, it
very
was good.
nice. I never saw something like that in any part of the world with rice and yeah, Maranhos is quite unique.
It's an interesting, and it's not an expensive dish. It doesn't take a lot to make it, and it's tasty.
No, it's not
Yeah,
expensive at all if you think about it. Well, because they do it with these cuts from the animals that nobody wants. So
yeah,
these are the cheapest ones.
yeah,
So
yeah.
another one I like a lot is diaphragma. You know,
No,
diaphragma
what is that? No, what
is
is that?
this muscle that sustains your upper
Your
body.
diaphragm, your diaphragm.
Diaphragm. Yes, sorry.
Yeah, okay. No, that's okay. That's okay.
And diaphragm veal from cow.
Okay, okay. I haven't had that.
And it's quite cheap too, and most of the people don't know about it, and it's very nice. I think you won't like it because it has a lot of blood. It's like ishkash, like
Okay,
the
okay.
well, a bit like liver,
Yeah,
but I love it. And well, the guys from the Matadouro, the place where they kill the animals,
yeah, yeah.
they get all the diaphragm um,
Okay,
for them.
okay, okay. They keep
So
it for themselves,
you
so you
don't
don't
get
see it in many places.
them often in butchers. Yeah, yeah,
That's interesting. Yeah, I've never seen that on a menu or at the butcher before. I don't think.
yeah, yeah. No, no, no. It's not easy to find it. If you go to a place, to a restaurant in Lisbon called Taberna do Calhau,
Okay,
you can find it in a dish. He calls it Alentejaninha.
okay.
He, well, but I'm not sure if the chef explains to people which cut are they eating.
Yeah,
But it is with this diaphragm.
yeah.
Uh, we call it also lombello.
Okay. Lombello.
Lombello.
I need to
Yeah.
ask my wife about that. I've not heard of that. You have food is a really important part of Portuguese culture, Ricardo. And I remember going to a place called Almeirim, which is not far from Lisbon, and it's this quite unassuming town. And then on weekends, it's like crazy busy with everyone just coming there to eat.
Mm,
I
yeah, yeah.
mean, is there any place that you particularly like where you will drive for more than an hour just to go eat? Is there anything that comes to mind?
Well, uh, the most unknown treasure in gastronomy, I think, is Trás-os-Montes region, which is in the northeast of
Okay.
Portugal. And they still do all the things by their own. And you heard about, of course, of alheira, which is
Yeah.
I don't know how to translate, like garlic pork sausage. They make it there. And if you go during the winter, you can actually see all these families doing it. And
Okay.
you can buy it at the houses. You shouldn't buy at the butcher. You should buy to the
Of
families.
course. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, Trás-os-Montes
Okay.
is a great place to go.
Okay.
But if you prefer some more light food from Atlantic or seafood, you have, well, from Porto to Algarve to Faro, all the coast is very good doing grilled fish, which is the most simple thing in the world, but it's not easy to find outside Portugal. It's
Yeah.
just fish and salt and olive oil. It's so easy and so nice. If you get good fish, fresh fish, you don't need any more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything. Yeah.
Ricardo, with your work, you speak to a lot of people up and down the country. Um, People visiting Portugal, they always say that they always talk about the food in Portugal, how much they love the food, and the other thing they always talk about is how much they love the people
Mm.
that are here. What do you want to say about Portuguese people? What do you want our listeners to know about Portuguese people?
Well, I think we're very open and kind with the foreigners, um, because we don't see them as a threat. Well, this is something you can find on the poorest countries in the world when they are visited with when foreigners that are richer than them are visiting them, they are kind. And you see the opposites. If you go to a country where they see you as a threat, they shouldn't be so kind.
Mhm.
And yeah, in Portugal we are kind, but we are not like annoying, I think. um, we're not beggars, I think. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
we live we let the people live their lives and being happy on their own. So you're easygoing on that.
yeah,
And yeah, it's because we don't have political tensions. We don't have cataclysms, weather cataclysms or something like that. So you can focus on simple things in life, you know. You can
yeah.
focus on doing on eating and taking sun and all the good things. And I think that's the best thing of
Nice.
living in Portugal.
Yeah, I agree. Ricardo, how just one thing that you want people to remember and take away from our conversation? Just one thing.
Oh, we talked a lot about food, no?
That's good though. That's normal. That's a normal Portuguese.
Yeah,
It's a normal Portuguese conversation talking about food.
I like to think that if you're open-minded to food, and if you're open-minded to Portuguese food, and if you try it more than once, you get to know to like more different things, and that's nice. I have friends that, well, they are like 40 years old, and they say, "Oh, I don't like beans." What? Because they didn't give it a try when they were younger. So sometimes you have to try it one, two, three times, and then you find you're in love of this different thing you didn't like.
Yeah, true. So just try. Just try.
Just try,
Um,
just try. Yeah.
how can people follow you online, Ricardo, and keep in touch with your work and follow what you're doing?
Well, I have Instagram. You can find me searching for Ricardo Felner, is my name, or O Homem que Comia Tudo,
Okay.
uh, the man who hates everything in Portuguese. And yeah, you can find on Facebook and Instagram mostly. And you should subscribe newspapers like Expresso, which is the most important weekly newspaper and a place where you can read my articles often. And yeah,
Good.
that's it.
And let's give Pedro Bushri Mendes a shout out, because he was the one that connected us. Thank you, Pedro.
Thank you, Pedro, for connecting people.
Yeah. And he was a great guest as well. So we had fun. But
I hope his English is better than mine, of course.
Your English is great. I don't know what you were so worried about. So we're good. It's all good. Ricardo, a question that we ask all of our guests. Portugal, the simple life. Why?
Because you don't have to worry about safety, politics, and you can focus on, as I was saying, on the good things in life, on good weather, good food, good people.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being on the podcast. And for now, I'm going to let you call it.
That's a wrap.
So thank you once again to Ricardo, and thank you to all of you for listening. Please subscribe, share with your friends, give us a thumbs up, and please leave a comment or a review. We always love to hear from you. Remember, Portugal The Simple Life also has a magazine, so download it. It's for free. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. And as we say in Portugal, bom proveito. Welcome to The Simple Life.